28. Open up a blaster of this stuff. I can't quite get the camera to focus, or not focus, but to be at the right elevation. But I'm using a roll of tape as a camera stand, so what do you do? What do you know? After this, be sure to check out the Victor A. Valente show. This blaster was a little weightier than the other two that I purchased. Perhaps there's another pack inside, or maybe there's a good card. One, two, 4, 5, 6. WNBA. Dun, 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 dun. 15 cards per pack, 90 cards per box, 6 packs per pop. 6 cards per box. There we are. I'm going to try to get you a little more room. There we are. We'll start with this one. Skylar Diggins Marvel back. Sure, check out Victor A. Valente. He's got a AI Wrestling League in the works. Kayla Thornton, Celeste Taylor, Kelsey Mitchell, Melissa Smith, Maisha Hines, Kia Nurse, Sabrina Ionescu. The names don't show up very well. Shakira Austin, Glia Copper, Raider rookie Haley Van Lith. Another one of Isaiah Jones. Yeah. My house! Brittany Sykes. And Marvels, Net Marvels, press proof of Skylar Diggins. It's her house. If you don't like it, you can get the out. Lisa Pilley. I don't know if I have that one. Jonquil Jones, Jordan Canada, Kaylin Clark, Brianna Jones, Haley Jones, Asia Wilson, Courtney Vandersloot. This is a good pack. Zia Cooper. Oh, wait, Zia Cook, sorry. I'm getting a stupid. There we are. Veronica Burton, Tammy Fagbenley, Maddie Westbeld, Paige Beckers. Why is that backwards? Is that numbered? No. Oh, one of these. Aerial Powers and Marvels of Jackie Young. Anyway, it's $50 to get into Victor Valente's league. You get 13 pay-per-views. Of course, this is all AI on an Angel Reese. I think there's one a week or one every 2 weeks, something like that. Stephanie Dolson, Rebecca Allen, Diamond Miller, Monique Billings, Brianna Stewart, J.C. Sheldon, Lana Smith, Nika Ngumuke, Tiara McGowan, Georgia Moore, Tihaina Pau. I don't think I have that one. Sanaya Rivers, Angel Reese, press proof. I know right now Mojo Adventures is doing a live stream of Lake Mead. Oh, there's something in the back here, Paige Becker's, or no, Cameron Brink, okay. They're blonde chicks. Julie Van Loo. That glare is just screwing everything up. Leah Edwards. Brittany Griner, I don't think I have that. Sammy Whitcomb. Dawn, how's it going? Erica Wheeler. I was just telling everybody about Mojo Adventures streaming live right now. Camila Cardoso. The raccoon is okay. I saw Honey the other day. I might have. What was it? Yes, I found Honey. I fed her today. I didn't find him that night, so she was hiding. Erica Gunbowale. Alyssa Thomas. Alicia Gray. Sonia Citron. Kiki Iriafen. Kate Martin something. Them silver ones. And franchise features Cameron Brink. No print line. Yeah, I didn't see the baby, but I've only seen it twice. So it's hopefully still around. What's new with you? I shouldn't have bought this box. It was $28. And only reason I did was just to harass Victor Avalene. I hear you there. Kayla McBride, Ariel Atkins, Dewana Bonner, Cameron Brink, Maureen Johannes. I don't know if I have that. Skylar Diggins, Chelsea Gray, Sydney Colson. Yeah. More perfume. Need a Kelsey Plum here pretty soon. Satu Sabali. Flying V box breaks is just going live if you heard that. Dominique Malonga. It's more like a secretary. Asia Sivka. What's her name? From the Addams Family. Not Wednesday, the mom. Crunch time of... Oh, these are both press proof, too. Keely Mitchell and... Can't quite make that out. Let me try here. Camila Cardoso. This one might actually be numbered as gold press proof. Nope, not numbered. But silver and gold. This turned out to be quite the blaster. It's the Victor A. Valene, not curse, opposite of the curse. This WNBA blaster. Victor A. Valene Mojo. We'll say that one. I think there's another silver in here. John A. Carrington. Ryan Howard. Deanna Taurasi. Erica Hamby. Jackie Young. Leah Boston. Playing for Indiana. Nafisa Collier. Kate Martin. Ariel Powers. Marina Mabry. Benijah Laney Hamilton. Sarah Ashley Barker. Caitlin Chen. Yep, it's a silver. Katie Lou Samuelson, silver disco or whatever's going on there. And Sophie Cunningham. I like her. When they were picking on Caitlin Clark, she stuck up and gave one of them a good hair pull or something like that when they were running for the ball. Seattle. You get to many Thunderbirds games? Are the Thunderbirds even a thing there anymore? I don't know. I knew a person that used to go to those. Her name is Vicky. I cannot remember her last name for nothing. Truthfully, I don't even know if I knew it. In the 90s, I went to a lot of games when they were in Seattle. Where are the Thunderbirds now? Kent, okay. We do not have crap for sports where I live. They mentioned on Mojo's stream Mojave in the desert or Mojave at midnight. When is the next one? Is that tonight? Or when are they going to do another one? Yeah. Unleash the Kraken! That Shane Wright kind of turned out to be somewhat of a flop from all the hype anyway. He's still a good hockey player, though. Saturday night. Well, perhaps we'll get another one unless they're going to be camping out there. Have you ever tried the Kraken rum? Pull the inserts. You should have seen this floor I worked on today. It was tile, but it was basically Lego. 9100. I'm gonna do some of this sorting off screen here. I have not either. I don't know that it's going to be any good either, but I can do it on screen a little bit. I don't have very much of a room here. Never tried it. I like Bacardi and Malibu. I like to get a bottle just because of the bottle, you know. Kraken tickets are probably $100 for nosebleed. T-Bird tickets are probably $20 a pop, I suppose. And then they'd have, where you could family night and all that. I could have went to a few games, and this was years ago when I talked with her. It was just internet stuff, but yeah, just didn't work out. Was that who was that? Was that no, I think that was Portland, where the fans and the hockey team started fighting. Do you remember that? Winterhawks. A friend of mine was at that. Those of you that do watch this, whenever you do watch it, be sure to check that out. Portland Winterhawks hockey fight. Just look that up. Yeah, that was a while ago. I think that was 90s, wasn't it? Where like a hockey team was chopping at him with the sticks and everything. I don't mind that kind of stuff just because if it's going to happen, let it happen, but not something that should happen every time. Definitely should be organic. You might have been too little to remember that. Yeah, it was big news. Your folks were probably talking about it. Oh, you're still a little kid then. $50, $60, $70, $80, $90, $100. That can happen all too easily. It really can. Did you watch WrestleMania? Are you into wrestling? Who's that one? Adam's Card Closet. How's it going? Adam, be sure to check out Dawn and vice versa. I still need to get a hold of you about that Zane Smith stuff. How you doing today, Adam? Adam's got a good Christian channel. They're mostly card related, but good Christian fella. Are Red and Brandon doing a live stream tonight? Do you know? Got the base sorted. These are recap quick of the inserts. My House, Brittany, Net Marvels of Diggins. I should know that. Net Marvels of Jackie Young. Net Marvels of Sanaya Rivers. Press Proof My House of Angel Reese. Silver of that one. Franchise Features. Crunch Time. A couple of those. Disco Action of Katie Lou Samuelson. And Sophie Cunningham, My House. These silver stuff. I put them in a binder sleeve, but I don't know. I'm not going to complete the set of those unless somebody decides to give them. What is their schedule? Because sometimes they're on multiple times a week, and then it's a couple weeks off, and there's nothing. And I don't know. I'd hop on there. I've got a couple of packs that I came across that I'd open, you know. I wouldn't do a whole blaster. Although I've got more than a blaster's worth of packs. So I need number 3. Do I have number 3? Yes, I do. And like I said, this blaster felt extremely weighty. $10 and $15. There's a 10 and a 15. At the rate this is going, it's going to be 3 blasters to make a complete set. Which I'm okay with, but that's just about $90 for just the base set. And that is a little bit exorbitant for WNBA. $28 and $32. $28. $32. Watch me be a card shy. Typically, I would penny sleeve these before I put them in a binder sheet. But a pack of 100 penny sleeves is now almost $4. There's no reason for that. 36, 37, 39, 44. 44, 39. Adam, do you have any WNBA TTM? Yep, 44. Nope. I suppose now they probably won't do it since they got popular. Sure, you'd get some that would, but 56, 56, 62. And that's 62 and 73 you got the other day. I like those. 56. Where's my 62? There's a 62. Are you going to get in the Victor A. Valente AI wrestling deal? Jackie Styles, she was good. Very good. $74, $75, 74 and 80. $74. I need 80. Ooh. There she is. Erica Wheeler. I'm pretty sure I have her autograph on a basketball. I have 2 WNBA basketballs team signed. I need 89. 89. The secretary. Doesn't she look like she'd be a secretary or bookkeeper or something? I like that. Cute little shit. And that does complete the set. So 3 blasters for a base set of Panini Donruss WNBA. Sans inserts. But I did fairly decent on inserts in this one. Let's see what we got here. Crunch time. Number 6. And these, I'll just do something on eBay for those. Number 10. And most of these crunch time have been press proof. Oh. Here's the press proof. I'll just stick it underneath of it. There's the press proof. There's the base. That'll work for now. Didn't get any tunnel vision. And I don't know. I don't really care for these tunnel vision cards. Franchise features. That's a duplicate. Cameron Brink. That marbles. Here she looks like she's checking out her fingernails. Number 5. This number don't count. That's just a jersey number. It's the number on the back. Number 15. Well, that's a duplicate. That's press proof. Yeah, that's press proof, and that's the base. There are numbered versions of press proof. In fact, that might be. No, it's not. But there are different versions of press proof levels. I'm not sure what they are. There's Jackie Young. They're both base. Oh, I don't even have sheets for my house. Okay. Well, I got a Sophie Cunningham, Angel Reese, and Brittany Sykes. And then I got some silvers. Why don't I have a my house? Perhaps I do. And then franchise features of Cameron Brink there. Barry, how's it going? Do I have enough sheets too? I don't. That's why I didn't make another one of my house. Okay. Well, that explains that. How's your day, Barry? Take these inserts, place them back in a pack. Have a chipper week, Adam. Thanks for stopping in. Adam's a good guy. Barry, if you want to complete a set of this Panini Donruss WNBA, it'll cost you about $90. 3 blasters worth, and very good day. Thank you for asking. About $90, and on eBay you can probably get for about $10. And there's a gnat. Get off there. These are about the only modern cards that I buy. Yeah, eBay is definitely your best route. Absolutely. But for the fun of opening, you're going to spend $100. And these are just basic, very basic, as you can see. Gotta mute you guys 1 second. I will be right back. Okay. Yeah, Dawn, be sure to check out Barry. He does community our live stream community Scrabble. And that's fun. I'll tell you what. It really is. I think he could get full on versus tournament. Where the community can watch, but just because they comment, it don't mean that's going to be the word that's picked. But he typically just goes against everybody in chat. And they have one Scrabble tiles, and he has one. It's a very good idea. And those that are in chat and watching, be sure to check out Mojo Adventures. Got some great productions. Excuse me. Yeah, it was good seeing Honey again today. I was worried about that with those raccoon or with those coyotes. I went out there a little bit and didn't see anything, and I figured I'd leave it alone in case they were lurking around still. And she was just hiding. And I've not, to my knowledge anyway, had any coyote raccoon fatality here. In fact, I've gone down in the pasture and I've snuck up on coyotes that were sleeping, and if I wanted to, I could have touched them on the butt and woke them up. This house I pet sit at has raccoons the size of a small car. That'd be fun. All they are little bears. I got one video with my hand feeding a bunch of them. And Honey's eating from my hand, and then she starts biting my fingers. And all I do is like, you're biting my fingers, just like that, you know. And she's oh. I'll see if I can find it and post a link to it. I even got one with what they're eating from a fork. But yeah, I have one male out here, and he's about the size of a square hay bale, if you're familiar with that. His head's about the size of a basketball. That would probably be a better reference. Yeah. In Norway, they actually call him Vaskbjorn, which means wash bear. They sit there and do that with the hands. Mine are all pretty tame. I actually used to just live stream them. I'd lay down on the porch with them and they would eat everything. At that time, I would actually have to pick up the computer, take the computer outside, hook everything up, and set it up. It was, a decent amount of time in the process. That was my channel, Texas Vlogs, Blogs, and Dogs. Then I've got one with the raccoon. It was too windy out, so it crawled up in a decoration that was on the porch. Blue indigo. Oh, I've seen that. I think that name sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar. I've come across so many different channels on YouTube, though. But yeah, if it was a raccoon channel, I most likely have come across it. Yeah, skunk are cute too. I came across, and unfortunately, she was hit, dead. But she had a pouch full of babies, a possum. I was probably, well, you can't, well, you can imagine the size of this toad. Like, oh, she was bigger than that. And she was bigger than this little tote here, but she had been hit. And I saw that. I stopped. I searched the pouch, found the babies in there, and there was at least one baby that was still somewhat alive, but there was nothing I could do. And within a minute or two, it had died. I just put my finger in there and let it hug my finger. But possum make great pets. They really do. Trash pandas. I might actually have to get a hat of that, Barry. Do they have cards? Like a team set of cards or whatever? I'd start collecting them. Yeah, it does. Or like the big foam hands, like a raccoon, where you can rub them together, and that's the battle or the rally, I'm gonna have to look that up. Comment on one of my videos, Barry, so I remember that. I'll I'll look into that. AA Rocket City Trash Pandas. I love it. I love it. Rocky Raccoon. If they don't have merch, I might have to reach out to them and give them some ideas. Or just make the merch myself. And that's a fun endeavor too. Jay Pylon, I know he creates quite a bit of his own. But if you get a good printer and good cardboard stock and everything, you can print some good cards. Back in the days of right after dial-up, those style of computers, I had one where I put in, I don't know how many weeks and hours and everything. And this was all research too. I went through all the old Ivy League magazines from back in the 1800s. And all the football players, you had like, was it Pop Warner? Or no, Amos Alonzo Stagg. I got all kinds of royalty-free images. And I made those in like the 1894 card style. And I did some 1965 Topps football style, the tall boys. And it was just of that. Oh, I heard honey on the porch. So Yep. She's okay. They have cards and merchandise. I'm gonna look into it. Absolutely. Because of Barry Berry, they have a fan in Nebraska. I was kind of disappointed there wasn't a card ever of me. I could add one in two sports, but oh well. I could make it, but I'm not going to bother. And if you're into wrestling at all, On It, the brand I always talk about, they came out with some wrestling cards now, but it's college wrestling. I know they have it for Nebraska. I don't know how widespread it is because Nebraska is really good in wrestling. Nebraska, Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Penn State, uh, Michigan, perhaps. Barry, do you have any cards from other countries? If you're ever interested in anything like that, it would be Panini, but that would be soccer, and most of your stuff is going to be soccer. I'm trying to think of what other sport there would be. Hockey from Sweden, KHL, which would be Russia, and there are other participating countries in the KHL. And off sports from what we have here. Yeah, I don't count OPG because OPG was Topps version and Leaf version or Canadian version. And then, like for example, the 62 Topps baseball, they have A, B, and C, or it's A and B, C, one of the two. Soccer cards from the next year have this 1962 Topps style. And they did that for many years. CFL did it. I think they were pretty consistent with the same year of football because I know the 58 CFL and the 58 Topps NFL were exactly the same. I do have a set of the 58 CFL. That's my oldest complete set. I do have over 500 Felix Potin card. It's a French chocolate company. And there's cards of Buffalo Bill, Anastasio Onassis. These are from 1908. See, who sports-wise, it's mostly cycling. But there's a Major Taylor card where he was, and I'm pretty sure you've seen those on my channel. He's the second black world champion in any sport, and those cards can go up to $60,000 and better. I've got 3 of those. There's Duke Kahanamoku, the big kahuna, and those are in that $50,000-$60,000 range. You can find them for in the single thousands, but I need to get that. Actually, I don't know if you would have seen this, Barry. I have an album of 510 of the one of the 1908 series with the Anastasio Onassis. All of them are glued into an album, just like it was with Kenner. Anastasio Onassis, Buffalo Bill, Major Taylor. That was my third one. Whoever's all in that set anyway, I paid $300 for it. Complete album. Some guy had it over in the UK, and he did not know what he had, and I wasn't going to argue with him. I only showed that on a live stream once, but I'll show you that Major Taylor so you know what to look for. And if you come across it, there's 2 different Major Taylors in that set. I have the one where I have the sideways view. There's also one where he's coming forward, and that is nowhere near as common. But for whatever reason, it's less, and it shouldn't be. But they're about T206 size. Yeah, I know you're familiar with that. And for me to go out and find one to show you, I'd have to look. It would take hours. I've got so many of these, so many of all sorts of sizes of totes. Right now, if I want to display all my, I don't even know if I'd be able to display all of them in there. I would need probably a $300,000 building or better. Well, I've got a whole bunch, Don. After the stream, I'll link them. You can watch some of the videos. And if you just search my channel name and raccoon, you should find a whole bunch. I've got over 2,600 videos. No, I don't even have an Instagram. I just do YouTube. I do have a Rumble channel, but I don't really get to it. No, no posts on Instagram at all. Well, hopefully he's got good content. Well, let me take that back. Years ago, I had a Instagram. I think it was Texas Hockey Cards, but I don't think I posted anything on it. That could be me, my old channel from whatever years ago. And I do think I had to make another one to sign up for something. I don't know. I think when you sign up for Instagram, you have to follow somebody, and I think I followed some German or Russian girl musician. So that probably is me. Especially if you're followed to some musician from somewhere you've never heard of. Right now, 3:25 to go. San Antonio Spurs lead 105 to Portland 92. There's the coach's challenge. 3:25 left in the fourth quarter. I don't think it's going to matter. There's only 3 minutes left. The bad part is Portland, or no, that's San Antonio. Okay. San Antonio has a guy that could just stand on the floor and dunk. He's 7'4". There's a guy that plays for Florida that's 7'9". So I mean, he's got his guaranteed million. You know, he'll sign a contract for somebody, even if he's not any good. Just the tickets and merchandise alone of a 7'9" basketball player is going to be the tallest one ever. Whatever team is going to make money off of him, even if he lasts a year. How tall are each of you? Dawn, Barry? How tall are you? I'm going to guess 5'4" for Dawn and 5'10" for Barry. Six one, okay. That's what I am. 5'3", okay, I was close there. I'm 6'1". Little bit under, little bit over, just depends on the day and how I'm standing, I guess. When I had to go into the ER the other day, they had to do a weight measurement. I was 330 and they're looking at me and they're like, oh, yeah, my pants are falling off. So what? Yeah, everything was fine the next day. The only thing when I woke up this morning, the one side of my head was swollen really bad when I was laying on, and the other side was normal. And I rolled over and I could feel like the fluid draining. And I was like, okay, what is this? So I stayed awake, a couple minutes. But with taking antibiotics and everything, who knows? And like today, I was over at a guy down the road. I was putting together cabinets and putting in flooring and everything like that. I don't know. Okay, the 7'4" guy just missed a dunk, and it was pretty bad how he missed the dunk. What's his name? Wabamba or something like that. Above the rim, his head's above the rim. He just completely missed the dunk. That's going to be hit in his highlight reel the rest of his career. His career's done, and it's going to be in his highlight reel. They're gonna show this. You're going to be 90, and you're going to see this. I could touch the rim in junior high, and this guy is a professional. It's okay. Everybody misses a dunk once or twice, I suppose. And all these basketball players, all they do is shoot the three. If people would just actually drive the basket, they would score more than just standing out there and shoot a three and miss it 5 times. It's one reason why I like the WNBA. I mean, they might miss the easy layup, but at least they're playing basketball, not horse. So all the NBA is horse with no traveling. Oh, I know. Oh, what's the guy from down the road? He scored 30 the other night. He's from Aurora, Nebraska, which is about 40 minutes down the road. I think his name begins with a C, or the last name begins with a C. It's a white guy. But by the way, he scored 30 points. Pretty good. He's a good player. Spurs ahead, 111-98 against Portland Trailblazers with 52.8 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Shireman, yeah. Baylor Shireman. I've never met him. He seems to be a pretty decent guy. He's done some commercials for an auto company down here. Comes off like he'd be a good guy. but I know Barry remembers the 80s Celtics. That was some stuff. Lakers and Celtics back in the 80s. They didn't even need a season. They just should have had a series of Baylor Celtics, and that was the season. Lakers Celtics. Did I say Baylor Celtics? I was a Lakers guy, though, because I liked Magic Johnson. But Celtics were very good. Yes. Colonel Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, was it Dennis Johnson, and who's the other guy? I can't think of it. No, that's yeah. No, I mentioned him. He's the colonel, right? Chief. Okay. Yeah, him, Bird, McHale, Dennis Johnson. One other one I'm missing. And that was at least the rookie card, too, for Don's Seattle Supersonics for Xavier McDaniel. Who's the fifth guy on that Celtics team? Kemp was good, too. Do you remember Danny Ainge? Yes, Danny Ainge. How the hell did I not remember him? You remember Don Slick Watts? You would have been really little. I mean, really little. The bald guy with the headband. That was, like I said, you would have been little. It was 70s. Yeah, okay. That was before your time. Well, that's right, guys. You got to remember, any guys that are watching this, Don is only 21. I heard Supersonics are coming back, though. Am I mistaken on that? I thought I saw something. I think it would have been Saturday. I think there's supposed to be a resurgence. Who was that? Last one before Bird. Who was that? That's a great trivia question. That is a great trivia question. So when I think of Celtics and 33, I just automatically think of Bird. 32 was McHale. Was 31 Ainge? Steve Kaburski. I've heard that name from cards, at least. I'm pretty sure I have that. But okay, let me mute you guys a second. I will be right back. '69 tall boy. Barry, did you ever see my set of '69 Topps basketball? I don't have the complete set. I've got almost the entire set. I need Chamberlain, checklist, and I think some common players. I do need to get another Elvin Hayes. I have one, but I had the third best set at one time, according to Beckett. Third best in the world. And then some of the puppies decided they wanted to start collecting. I have the Lou Alcindor. I paid $200 for the Lou Alcindor. I think it's a 4.5. I think it is. Jay, how's it going? 69 basketball is up right now. Jay Thompson is yeah, absolutely. I as long as you could tell what it is, I would absolutely take any 69 ounce Alcindor. Dawn, if you like squirrels, be sure to check out Jay's channel. Just got a post. Surfer put a Resident Evil video up. And you've got to behave, Jay, because there's a young dame in the chat. Jay's got squirrels that do all sorts of tricks. And if you baking cookies and send them to him, he'll get squirrels to probably sing to you. Oh, Don, I'm sure he could get the squirrels to dress up like Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they might sing or they might spit on you, but he's got squirrels. Man, I got a little bit lost in the chat there. Hold on. Hard lost a fight with the raccoon. Well, Jay, that Hannes Wagner you have, I mean, even though it looks like that, it's still worth a few bucks. Anybody else has a Hannes 1910 Wagner? I don't care what it looks like. If it's in bad shape, I'll give you a couple $100 for it. It's because I don't have it for my set. Deer, raccoons, bunnies, possum, woodpeckers. Jay, I said be nice. Oh, hell. That's a nice card. In any condition, I don't care what anybody says. That's a very nice card. I've got a 53 Bowman of Rizzuto and Billy Martin. Well, they're probably over there because of that beatdown that Nebraska gave Iowa. That 53 Bowman set, all those cards, I like them. I'm not a fan of the black and white. I like the color ones. The black and white just look 1975 TCMA. It depends. Are you working on a Frankenstein, Jay? Excuse me. '54 Bowman Martin. We're talking about cards. I better put some cards up here. I got a $90, $10 set right here. Completed tonight. Well, you could blame it on him. Oh, what's that actor's name? I got a 53 Bowman to him, too. Ronnie Walken. I've got a 53 Bowman Ronnie Walken. I think I got that for like $5. Might have been $20. Something is cheap. Well, okay, yeah, I mean, there are tough winners there. Connors. Well, if that's what family it is, or whoever those people are you got there, I mean, I don't know any Connors. Or is it Connors Cookies? You can make those out of there too. No, I do not have a Chuck Connors. Only Chuck Connors I had was what was it, 91 Pacific or something like that. All-time greats with the gray frame. Actor with the baseball card. I think his card would have been 30s, 40s. He could have had 50s. But the actor I'm talking about is Ronnie Walken. You would know him as Christopher Walken. He was like a 3-year-old kid. He had a card in the Bowman set. Wasn't the baseball set? It was 1953 Bowman actors and TV personalities or something like that. They look just like the 53 baseball. Yeah, I'm surprised that I found it for what I found it for. Okay. That's trouble you hear in the background. This is the second time she puked today. I think she got into some garbage, didn't you, Chubble? Chubbly bubbly, boo boo boo, you baby chubble, baby chubble, baby chubble. Baby chubble, baby chubble, baby chubble. Oh, Barry, I mentioned something about an actor card in 1953 Bowman. I have the Ronnie Walken. And he was thinking Chuck Connors, but it wasn't the baseball set. No, but I heard CM Punk lost. Already lost. Did Danhausen, I saw he got the blimp. Did he get his face on the sphere? Spherenhausen? Speaking of wrestling, does anybody have any old wrestling cards? 54 or 55? Well, I am very pleased to hear that or see that, Jay. Very pleased. Ooh, Gable. Iowa State. Or was he Iowa or Iowa State? Jay will know this. I think it was Iowa State. I wrestled one of the Nordhuses. Jay will know that name. Well, who's the one from Iowa State? A friend of mine went to Iowa State, and he was in a class with, I thought it was Gable, but it might have been, who else would that have been? Cliff Keen? What's my name? I'm not going to say that on there. No. I wrestled one of the Nordhuses at Huskerland. I was in junior high, and he was in college. I'll say that. We just wrestled, not an actual match. We just wrestled. Uh, oh, I can't think of it. But he was an Iowa State guy, and I thought it was Gable. It would have been early 70s. I think he won 4 NCAA titles and lost his senior year because he got cocky during the match. Well, it would have been an Iowa State wrestler, guarantee it. Because a friend of mine went to Iowa State. If it wasn't, I'm thinking if it wasn't Gable, it might have been Cliff Keen. Or Granby. Gable, Granby, or Keen. Pretty sure it was Gable, though. I'm trying to think. Guy new graduated, I think it was 72 from Iowa State. And there was also a heavyweight in his class, too. I'm trying to remember what his name was. I'd have to look it up. I can't do it while I'm on here because I just have the phone. Hey, you're another youngin', Jay. Aside from Don, Barry's probably the youngest one in here. I don't know how old Barry is. He's probably around our age, too. I was born in 77. So I got the cheaper sets to complete. But Jay, you look like a wee babe in the arms still. Jay's a pretty boy yet. Speaking of 72, Hogan's Heroes is on. Yep, that's exactly right, Don. Jay, it's just experience. Chicks dig it. Experience and confidence. Yeah, Me TV. I like that channel. I'll watch MASH. I don't watch Andy Griffith. So there's Andy Griffith. Everybody loves Raymond now. Snuck that in there for some stupid reason. Carol Burnett. There's probably something else in between there, and then Hogan's Heroes. Andy is good. They actually have the first season of Griffith on there, and I saw a show I had not seen the other day. I thought I'd seen all those. I was over at the neighbor's, and he was watching it. Sanford and Son. We did have Sanford and Son. I think that was a year ago, though. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. No, they only get what they have, or what's copyright free, I believe. Because I know I've seen Henry Blake and Colonel Potter probably at least once already this year. And then MASH went on for, 12 years? You know, Gomer Pyle, though, that guy can sing. Yeah. Henry's died so many times. He's probably a cat. What's this? This is Dick Van Dyke now, isn't it? Nope. It says Hogan's Heroes, but why is it in black and white? I don't remember Hogan's Heroes in black and white with balloons. There's got to be Dick Van Dyke. What else do they show on ours? Twilight Zone, Honeymooners. Yeah, Hawkeye is always. You know, as I've gotten older, I appreciate the humor of Winchester better than I did Hawkeye. Westerns during the day. Gopher from Love Boat. Which one is Gopher from Love Boat? I know he's not the black guy. I know he's not the captain. I know he's not the medic. Winchester's his favorite. Who said that? Don said that. Okay. The other dude. Is that the short black-haired guy? Hopefully I don't get copyright. I got to turn this up. What is this? I don't know what show this is. It might be Twilight Zone. says Hogan's Heroes on TV, though. Was also senator, congressman, state rep from Iowa. He's got a good resume. Hopefully that's back when they had Republicans. Yeah, it's Dick Van Dyke. That was a good show, too, though. Is Dick Van Dyke still alive? I think he is. Might be 190. No, he's probably close to 99 or 100, so 99, 98. Governor Branstad. Is Clint Eastwood still around? He'd be in his 90s too, at least. Or did he recently pass? Do you guys remember Clyde from Any Which Way But Loose? Yep. Orangutan. He was here in Nebraska in a little town called Orchard. I think the place was called Nebraska Primate Center. I don't know how long he was there, but they had him in a corn crib. Yep, right turn, Clyde. They had him in a fucking corn crib. Yes, Philo Beto. I was pretty pissed about that. He just wanted to freaking hang out, but whatever. This would have been back in the 80s when I seen him. And Jay might have heard about this. That's the same place. Do you remember the chimpanzees? I think they made it to Niobrara, Nebraska, but they shot two chimpanzees. Chimpanzees escaped, and I think the place got shut down. No, neither am I. I mean, if they're gonna, they're going to put you in something, at least make it the size of a house, you know? But anyway, these chimpanzees got loose. And I suppose they didn't have a choice at this point, but they just shot him, killed him from the same place. Ridiculous. I know at the zoo here in Omaha. I tried catching him, but I couldn't. There was a little meerkat that got out of its enclosure. It was running around, and there were other people there, or I probably would have got him, but I couldn't have made it too obvious. And it's not like he would have had a bad life here. He wouldn't have had his friends, but he probably might still be running around in the house. Who knows? But yes, humans are very irresponsible and very neglectful. Yeah, there's times where some of those animals get loose at Henry Dorley. That still, in my opinion, is the best zoo around. I know San Diego's supposed to be pretty something, though. I haven't seen that. Henry Dorley is either number one or number two for the biggest zoo in the world. They've got an indoor rainforest. They've got they've got everything there. If you haven't been there, you need to check it out. A couple of brats were chasing the baby peacock. One of them at least caught him. Hold on a second. I got to mute you guys a sec. Sorry about that. Rosenblatt. No, I don't think Rosenblatt is. I think it got moved to Saunders County. I'm not exactly sure what it's called now. It ain't even Omaha Royals. It's Omaha Storm Chasers now. Well, hell, that might have been me chasing it then. I don't know. Around that time frame. No, I don't think I ever chased a peacock. I don't think I did. But talking about zoos, and this was actually a determining factor on whether I went to Australia or Norway. I called Australia Zoo to see if, there was a possibility of getting a job there. And I was told, no, we want to keep it Australian, which I get that. I understand it. Spikes, Royals. Yeah, oh yeah, Spikes is there. Yeah, it was. Just keep it the Royals. They've been the Royals for decades. But yeah, that was a determining factor in going to Norway or Australia. And I'm glad I did what I did, because if I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't have what I have now. Because and the whole reason Australia came into play, I was going to Norway to play football, and I talked with my uncle. It was the first time I talked to my Uncle Bill. And like, whoa, come down to Gympie, and you can play Aussie rules. Well, I'll think about it. I made the phone call, and there you are. Had the zoo said yes, I would have. And my Uncle Bill, his whole story, well, not whole, but this whole story of him ending up in Australia, it was right at the end of World War II, or right after. No, it was right at the end of it, I'm pretty sure. He was 3 years old, my grandma's brother, and they got separated. He got separated from the rest of them. And her and my great grandma came here to the U.S., and he ended up on a boat, and it went to Australia. So he's this 3-year-old kid, ended up there. My grandma, he originally also too came from Latvia. And her whole side fought for the Nazis the whole time. It was the better choice than fighting for the Russians. They were Latvia was kind of right in between. But that's how he ended up there. And as far as I know, I might still have a cousin Peter and cousin Vicky there. Vicky and she was named after my grandma. And someplace I should have some old 8mm, because they found each other. Some old 8mm film that he sent, and this would have been from back in the 70s, I suppose, or 60s, where he was doing like lumberjack competitions and everything. Well, anyway, while I was over in Norway, I had to leave the Schengen zone for 90 days. The best that I could do before I got married to my wife, anyway. And the best that I could do was exit the Schengen zone at the end of 1 month, come back into the Schengen zone the next month. So I went over to Latvia, which was outside. And I get there, and I had a Uncle Rudy. Yeah, it was Rudy. And I get to the airport, and I asked for the phone book because I was going to call him. You know, I would have went and visited and everything. Nope. They wouldn't give me a phone book. This was during 9/11. Everybody was stupid. So fucking stupid. It was ridiculous. I even remember the woman's name. Her name was Santa. She was the main information person at the airport. I asked for an airport or a phone book. No. They wouldn't. Every Latvian, I shouldn't say every, damn near every Latvian I met was just a piece of shit. I had guns drawn on me at that airport. Everything. The only people that I could talk to, some of the shopkeepers were Russian. I talked to them, and they're like, oh, yeah. You know, I'm sorry, but that country is just shit. But they had very good, and I've never found it in the U.S., tomato flavored potato chips. I bought the vending machine out at the hotel. I had enough money where I could have stayed at the hotel for one night. And when you got in the hotel, there's a sign in the bathroom. If you take a shower, or I'm giving my own verbiage to it here. If you take a shower, don't use the hot water for more than 5 minutes because of radioactivity from Chernobyl. This was in 2001. And the water was yellow, and it stunk. It stunk of sulfur. But I just, screw it. I'd take 30-minute shower or whatever. I don't care. Oh, yeah. Hot showers until the water runs out, and then you jump out as fast as you can because it gets cold right away. And you can't see anything because the mirrors are all fogged up. You know, I'll take a hot shower that's so hot I'll be sweating. Yes, I'll do the same thing, Jay. Easy. Every day if I can. When I was a kid, I lived with my grandparents, and we didn't have a shower. We had a bath, which I love baths. But that's how much water I was allowed to put in. Here's a beer can for reference. That's how much water I was allowed to put in the bathtub. And then I I would just get to the point where I'm going downstairs because we had a bomb shelter. There was a shower there. I would take a bath. I would just take a shower. Well, did you explain to him, Jay, that that's the best way to make cookies? Yeah, we probably had the same type of grandparents, but mine would complain. Well, you can't have much more water than that, otherwise you'll drown. That was their main reason. Well, that's the best time to bake it. But Jay likes cookies. Jay likes cookies. Trust me. He's the only 100-pound guy that can eat 100 cookies a day. Serious. I'm serious. Jay's probably 100 pounds soaking wet and eats his weight in cookies every fucking day. He needs to be looked at by science. That metabolism is I don't have a word for it. Dawn wants to know if you got a crumble cookie there. There's Barry. He's back. Comfortably nom 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 nom. Cracked out metabolism. You can always tell him, Jay, you're 140 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. Just flex at the dames. Ugh. He's got the 10-inch pythons. Ugh. Do the Hogan pose. Mint Oreo. I don't know if I could do that one. Mint Oreo. There's absolutely nothing on TV. Right now, there's a commercial with that lawyer. I don't know if it's regional or not. Black lawyer with red glasses. Uh, Rocio on the Mexican channel. The hot granny Spanish chick. That's the only way to explain her. She's probably 70. Elves can make cookies. It's the chocolate peanut butter ones. I know they can make those. Although they're only about like this. So I don't know if that qualifies as a cookie. I think a train got derailed in Fremont. There's stuff going on the bottom of the TV here. I turned it on to NCN, News Channel Nebraska. Something about Oregon, Nebraska football. Norfolk first responders adopt program to locate missing individuals. So basically, they want to RFID chip people. Speaking of that, Jay, did you get that link for the Jet Awards? Cookie Lady always makes me peanut butter no bake cookies. Hooray, Cookie Lady. 5 injured in Iowa City shooting. Police seek details on persons of interest. Crews fight overnight fire in southwest Iowa. Structure total loss. What's going on in Iowa tonight? What the hell? Eight children killed in mass shooting in Shreveport. Drake relays. Jay, do you remember when Drake damn near won the NCAA title? Canada's leader describes ties to U.S. as weakness that we must correct. I don't like that. They're just mad because they lost in hockey. Negotiations with Iran will be in Islamabad. Iran rebuffs Trump announcement. I don't know. Channels. Trump says U.S. forcibly seized Iran flagships. Okay, so there's a ceasefire and we're taking their ships. Iran proxies on Jewish sites. How odd of God to choose the Jews. Yes. Is it Polium that has the 1969 basketball card? It's either Dolph Polium or the guy whose last name began with the G. Oh, you are absolutely correct, Jay. The world's leaders have just gone on stupid. They haven't gone on stupid, they've gone on ego. And while I'm a Trump guy, how do you threaten fucking Norway because you did not get a Nobel Prize? You weren't even eligible for nominations for the Nobel Prize. Now you're sure as fuck not going to get one. Fucking idiot. And I'm a Trump guy, so I don't. But he's gone off the rails. Well, I'll tell you this much. Yeah, after, well, I don't want to say, I'll say the year 2001, the Telemark Battalion was the first one to go into Afghanistan. And if you don't know, just look it up. Then you'll know. UK being our oldest ally. When in the hell did that ever happen? Because US would not be the US without France and Russia. Statue of Liberty, that's from France. But no, we're gonna piss on these people. There are certain that comment that he made to the prime minister, I think, or president or whatever she is of Japan, that was totally uncalled for. And that entire country deserves an apology. They were sitting there in that White House where he's behind the faces behind with all the fancy gold trim. And he sits there, oh, yeah, we're being sneaky. Japan knows about being sneaky. And then he made a comment about Pearl Harbor. And you could just see she was smiling. She was taking it as a compliment. And then as soon as he said that, you could just see her whole fucking everything in her just fucking sink. And I'm sorry, but that was uncalled for. I posted a video that night of it. I don't give a shit. You don't say stupid shit like that when you're a world leader. There's a time and a place. And that was not the time and that was not the place. Well, Jay, I won't comment on that just because YouTube and everything else is monitored. Although I think that would be a good thing for multiple people in a certain city, among cities where it needs to happen. But after these last two, there needs to be age limits on the presidency. I don't think there needs to be a president over the age of 70 unless you get your last year you turn 71 or 72. Whatever, that's permissible. And I also think the young age, because all you have to do is be 35. No, I think that should be raised to at least 45. And since we're getting on politics, I'm going to grab myself another beer. I'm going to mute you guys a second. I will be right back. All right. We got 3 of them. Politics and religion. Let's solve some world problems. Live on YouTube. And I'm sure I'll say something to offend everybody. But the best part about that is we all realize that we're adults and we can disagree and not kill each other. T minus 10 minutes. Yeah, you're probably about right. So fire away. Give me your questions. Ask my opinion. State your opinion. I'm good with it. Let's do it. Pick a topic. Jay Thompson, as a vet, I defended everyone's right to offend, just as I defended everyone's right to be offended. Absolutely. Absolutely. The U.S. has become too full of sissy, and I'll be polite because I won't say anything like that to offend, but been too full of sissy people that words do more damage than bullets. And it should never be that way. And nobody should ever have to be that way or think that way. Many of them are criminally insane. That's why socialism exists. Because all socialism is a political way to consolidate wealth criminally. And it's unfortunate that too many Democrats now think that that's the way it should be. Not saying that's all Democrats, but I know way too many that espouse that ideology, excuse me. Because there ain't no damn. I lived in a socialist country. It don't work. It's very bad. Very, very bad. Let's pay tax on every television and radio in your home every 6 months. Come on now. That's absurd. Refill away. Refill away. We're going to solve all the world's problems tonight. And I will say now, before we get started, all opinions are of Texas Hockey Cards channel. Nobody in the chat. So don't take anything out on them. Take it out on me. Or just put on your big boy panties and deal with it. Five minutes. Jay's giving a countdown to World War III. We got 5 minutes to solve all the world's problems. Pick a topic, Jay. Let's go. Or anybody. Pick a topic. Gas prices, immigration, you name it. Weed laws. Grows naturally. Anything grows naturally, it should be legal. But anyone that abuses it, forget it. So you want to buy, let's take a pack of cigarettes. Let's take a can of chew. Okay? We'll use a pack of cigarettes for the weed situation. Okay. You can buy a pack of joints for $10, whatever tax is on it. There you go. And that tax goes to the government, the state government. It funds roads. It funds whatever. God didn't outlaw. Oh, okay. Let me take that back. God did say, "Do not eat from that tree of knowledge." But is that symbolic? Is that the tree? I wasn't there. I can't tell you that. $10 for a pack of joints. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know how much stuff costs. 10 pack of joints. You see this Alltel card here? That's the size of a pack of cigarettes. 3 fingers. Just make it like a 20 pack. Make it a 10 pack. 10 pack, $10. Regular pack. I know a regular pack of cigarettes, $20. So okay. Or 20. Yeah, let's do it. But if you get caught under the influence of that, committing whatever crime or however, you lose that privilege. Is that not fair? Well, they shouldn't be. Is that not fair? If you fuck up on it, you lose it. Simple. Okay. And whatever tax on that, because the stuff can be grown dime a dozen. It really can be. We just solved that problem. 2 minutes countdown, Jay says. What do we got? What else we got? Jay, a friend of mine, the same friend I talked about from Iowa State, he was president of Crime Stoppers here. He's originally from Iowa. His grandfather actually had a patent for a hemp combine during World War II. Super Bowl should not be considered a federal holiday. It's a sport. If you want to go to the Super Bowl, just pick a random job. Okay, take your day off, take a couple days off, then come back to work. It should not be no. You should not be able to take it off unless you have vacation days. That's a frivolous. Same thing with NBA playoffs, final game or whatever, World Series final game. No, absolutely not. Use your vacation. Plain and simple. Sit back, take a couple days vacation, smoke your pot, watch the football game. There you go. Come back to work. Next. No, and it shouldn't. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm a hockey guy, they can wipe their ass with any finals. Watch your finals. You want to play a big boy? Then be a big boy and come to work too the next day. Otherwise, go to bed before dark. Uh-oh. Jay's got to take a second. I'll give you a second, Jay. I got to take a second as well. Not for that, but. Oh, well, now CJ, since you've been doing that, you're ahead of the game. So that means you should just be wide awake for work. That's my thought on it. Do all you want. Just be a productive member of society. I don't think it should be illegal at all. I don't think peyote should. I don't think cocaine should be in its pure form or in its real form, If God put it here, it's here to do. Yeah, if you're not able to work, yeah. You know what I mean, though. Meth, I think that should be outlawed. I'm not all up on everything that's synthetic, but anything synthetic should be outlawed. Ooh, yeah. That's a no-no. And probably some of that enjoyment, and I don't know everything about it, but is some of that enjoyment heart attack related, or is that genetic? Well, okay. So you're definitely in agreement with what I said then. It can be fun, absolutely, but doesn't mean that it should be legal. Yeah. But they didn't put the straw up the nose. But yeah, I know what you're getting at. It should. There's a legal form, or what under what I would propose. There's a legal form of something that is somewhat similar. And one, when done correctly, is harmless. Cola. Cola. Casey Jones knows what I'm talking about. I don't blame you one bit. And I'm glad you're adult enough to be able to realize that. No. Anybody caught using needle stuff, boom. Out of there. Instant year. First offense, I don't care. Instant year. Unless, of course, it was forced in them, which that brings up a whole other world. But yeah, absolutely. I know I believe there's places here in the U.S. that even give them like heroin users. Almost said losers. They give them synthetic versions of no. You absolutely right, Jay. Absolutely right. Because the only people that, I mean, honestly, that should be able to speak about it are people that did it. Yeah, and there's a heavy price for that payment. But if somebody's going to use any injectable, unless medically prescribed, and that's totally something different. I mean, the only thing that would be medically prescribed, insulin, steroids of a certain type, and that would probably be in a pill form. Oh, so you're a Pepsi Phil fan too. Yes, medical stuff, yes, that'd be okay. Except for being abused. Pepsi is delicious. Hold on. What other topics, political, do you have questions on? At least on my opinion. This is a good conversation. I enjoy this stuff. It does appeal to my megalomaniacal side. Oh. Well, then I guess Jay's going to pay all the high gas prices. Okay. Things, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Right now we are doing politics and religion talk. If you have any topics you would care to discuss on, or it can just be cards. Like for the fact that I started out as a WNBA blaster, the third WNBA blaster that I bought. And I completed the set, but I could probably just bought the set for $10 on eBay. Well, any opinion is open for discussion. And everybody here is adult enough to agree to disagree if it is to that point. I'm a Trump guy. I'm a staunch Trump supporter, but within reason, I don't give a shit. And some things I'll just flat out say. Everything I'll flat out say. The floor is yours. Things. How was your day? Let's start off with that one. Anything exciting happening in the happy land of Hawaii? Oh my God, my battery. Yes. Yes, 100%. Everybody should, if they disagree, fuck off. You're wrong. Now let's go have a beer. Wait, Dad's. Happy birthday, Squirrel and Dad. Good. Today I worked on a garage, put up a very nice cabinet set, tool chest and cabinets and all that. And actually installed a floor that basically is like Lego material. And it snapped together just like Lego material. I mean, it's 16 by 18. Might have taken 30 minutes to put together. I'm actually going to do a commercial on it. Well, whatever kind of commercial that my limited channel can do. Looks like a showroom. Imagine a showroom, you got all your stuff, you got motorcycles on it and everything, nice display. That's what it looked like. Cost $1,000. All right. Well, I can't because of the puppies, but if it's a quick drive and you want to pay gas, I'll go up there. %. No gambling, no recreational. I can agree to recreational. I don't agree with it at all. But the first time you fuck up on it, it's automatic 1 year. Gambling, your winning would be taxed. I assume it is now. And it'd definitely be state taxes. I agree 100% things. 100%. there's too much lobby. And any lobby should be outlawed. If a person doesn't have prior knowledge, we don't need lobbyists telling them there. That's what we have advisors for. But we definitely would have to agree on what gambling is, because technically buying cards is gambling. It really is. I agree. There should always be a limit. I don't care how much money you're worth. There should always be a limit. Yeah. Jay's correct. Any game is a gamble. Pinball would. I could see that. But I think anybody should be able to purchase a gun. I do believe there should be a background check, and there should be rules on who should buy it. If anybody has a history of any type of mental issue, no, they should not have a gun. I mean, that's a square one right there. Should a person be allowed to have assault rifles? I think there should be more scrutiny, obviously. But yes, I do think there are steps that a person could take to own one. It should be difficult. But a person that's going to be responsible with owning a gun shouldn't have a problem with, okay, it might take a few days for me to get a shotgun. It might take a few days for me to get a rifle to go deer hunting. Well, okay, you want to go deer hunting? Be responsible enough to apply in March or April or whatever, so in November you can go hunting. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Whenever there's a gun involved, yes. And I'll go a step further. If you commit a crime with the gun, like if I go out and I shoot somebody, then automatic public execution. Automatic. As long as it's proven, here, the other day, we had a guy, an immigrant from Nigeria, I think it was, and he beat the hell out of a woman to death with a hammer. Then he should be right out there in the street, okay, with the hammer, boom, boom, boom. Do what happened to him. If you rob a bank, of course, there's going to be years and all that. But yeah. I like what you said there. First aid course. I just got disconnected, but I'm back. It says, I agree. There should be the first aid course teaching as well. Yeah, I mean, it's just simple common sense. And that's something that's gone in this society. Most people don't have common sense. Yes, guns are tools, sometimes used by idiots. Don't outlaw the gun, outlaw the idiot. Because it's been proven all over the world that an idiot with a fucking knife can do just or more damage than someone with the gun. And I believe, you hear everybody, AR-15, AR-15. Oh, whoop-de-doo. It's a fucking glorified 22. Okay? AR-15 deaths and knife deaths, I believe, are pretty much equal. The last time I looked. But now you got people over in the UK. Oh, well, you can't carry a knife. You can't have this. Okay, I'll have a spoon. I'll have a knife made out of wood. I'll have a knife made out of ceramic. I can do more damage with that than I can with the metal one. And the fact that I said that I can do that, does that make me a criminal? No. It just means, okay, this guy's got common sense and some ability. You're absolutely right. Automobiles. Exactly. Well, all we have to do is give Jay a cookie. He'll be okay. Uh-oh, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it goes back to the common sense. And see, we're in different states with varying different opinions. We can all agree. Well, nowadays, if you use your words, it's worse than using a fucking weapon. No, it's not common at all. And that's unfortunate. And part of that has come back to the divorce your parents type mentality. And part of it has to do with you can't divorce your parents type mentality. There needs to be some qualifications before people can just start popping out kids. There's got to be mental qualifications, especially financial qualifications, to being able to have kids, certain amount of kids, etc. Because you can't afford to even feed yourself. You don't need to be having a kid. No. And in a rational society, okay, you call me whatever. Good for fucking you. You want a cookie? Yeah. That's all that needs to be said. Hey Jay, you're an Iowan. You know what I mean? And he could turn around and say, "Hey Sean, you're a Nebraskan." Things, you're Hawaiian. Okay. It's just that simple. You got. Hold on a second. Hey, Huggle. You got idiots going to school because somebody picked on them because they're emo. Oh, wah. Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. Huggle's climbing all over me here. I love Huggle. I love Huggle. Huggle, watch out, please. How far from Iowa is you? Oh, I'm a wee bit down the road, about an hour and a half. So y'all didn't get lucky enough to be coming to Nebraska. I have Huggle, and I have Chubble, and I have Bubble, and I have Telly. My Dell passed away the 17th of March, and her mom and her dad both come from Iowa. Hey, Bubble. Come here, Bubble. Everybody decides it's pile on Sean time. Yeah, Sioux City, wasn't it? Was that? Now, that's got to be some of his ashes, correct? Because George Foreman died some while ago. But if I recall, it has to do, he went through Iowa and he was just in love with the state. Yeah, he was just in love with the state. How did they word that on TV? It was good praise for the state. I believe he was driving back from winning. I don't believe it was the world title. I think it might have been the U.S. title for amateur boxing, I believe. Yeah, that could be. That could very well be, Jay. But back to dogs. Things, do you have a dog or any types of pets? Anybody watching, be sure to check out Sports Cars and Things. He always does a stream on Friday. Okay. Yeah, my Dell, the one that just passed, she was 22. Third oldest living dog on the planet and top 15 all time. And the oldest of her breed, even though she was mixed breed, she's half Vizsla, half Pointer. The oldest for Vizsla was 18, which is debatable because I think her mom was 20. And Pointer was 18. And Mydell's half sister, Snook, also reached 20. But my dogs do not eat just dog food. They have vegetables, boiled chicken, fish. Mydell loved fish. In fact, her last meal was fish. Kippers and olive oil. Yeah, but Jay, sometimes they can't eat chocolate chip they can't eat chocolate chip cookies at all. Chocolate's toxic to dogs. Oh, what are you? What the hell are you chewing on? Thank you for not chewing on that. Yeah, dogs love vegetables. At least all mine do. Spinach, cabbage, carrots, celery. As Huggle, you hear Huggle in the background because he's chewing on something. I don't know what you're chewing on. Stop it. But I definitely, my child, cauliflower, yeah. But that isn't necessary. Cauliflower, I believe, is something that's not necessarily good to give a dog. But yes, they do love cauliflower. But flat out, dogs cannot have chocolate. They cannot have onion of any type. Can you watch out, please? Grapes are toxic, but if you give them a grape, it's not going to hurt them. Pork. Do never give your dog pork because they cannot digest pork. It'll sit in their stomach and it'll sit in their stomach. And too much, I mean, one bite, okay? But yeah, do not give dogs pork. I don't care if it's cooked, whatever you do to it. If they can't swallow it and poop it out, and it's got to be one, don't do it. I'll feed grapes to any animal, Jay Thompson says. Do you guys remember when I think it was Walmart was using arsenic on their grapes to help preserve them? Who in the hell does something stupid like that? I think it was arsenic. Yeah. The only thing that I can say that's good about that place is Olroy dog food. And they have $16 30 packs of this. Some people might consider that evil too. But other than that, can't say much good about it. Certainly not their prices for cards. $30 for a blaster box. Or more. What are prices in Hawaii for a blaster box? I mean, I could understand them being a little higher because of shipping going across the water and everything. I understand that, but yeah, I would definitely, especially, I don't know how big of a fish eater you are, but yes, absolutely. 100% absolutely. Beef in Hawaii. What is I don't know if you get the big 10-pound tubes or how you eat beef. If you do, what does something like that cost? Beef here in the store is damn near $8 a pound, unless you go to a store that's local and they, like a cattle farmer, then it's half the price or less or more, I should say. And there's no reason. I can't say that because I don't know what shipping costs are, but there's no reason that anything should be that high. And how chicken eggs were, I know, outrageously priced at one time. There was, and I don't care what they say, bird flu, bird shit. There was no reason. I got a chicken farm right across the road, a mile away. There's no reason for chicken eggs to be more than $1 a dozen. No reason. Now for you, that's an extenuating circumstance because I do know the shipping, but here right now it's $1.99 for a dozen large eggs. It's cheaper than having a chicken. It really is. But there is no shortage. There never has there been a shortage of eggs for it to achieve what people were paying $20 a dozen. Milk, yes, I understand that. I fully understand milk being expensive there. Pork, excuse me, pork is 3/4 the price of beef. And the only reason that is because of the state of California. So like here, just right across the road again, I know somebody that's got thousands of pigs. We're talking 5,000-6,000 pigs. And he cannot sell his pigs when he wants to because they want to go in at the most 290 pounds. And you're talking a full semi-trailer full of 290-pound pigs. But there's all these plants, packing plants around here. Oh, well, we'll take 50 pigs. Bring them in. He's got to pay that fuel. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. And it's costing him He's losing money damn near on those loads. Well, you're better off than we are. I'm in Nebraska. I can go across the street and buy a whole pig for $100. Or I can go to the store and buy 4 pork chops for $8, $9, $10. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And it all goes back to the state of California. I know people that drive from where I'm at in the middle of the U.S. They'll take their pigs a full load to California because they'll take a full load. And they might make $100 more on that load. But they're making more doing that than taking it half an hour down the road because they're only going to take 50 because of the price of fuel. It's just stupid. You are right. It is the companies creating a monopoly. 1 second, I got to mute you. Sorry about that. And like I was talking about that chicken farm. Every 42 days, they produce 1 million pounds of chicken every 42 days. Costco paid all over around this area for these chicken barns to be put up, and they lose $1 on every chicken. That's those roasted chickens they have when you go in the door, roasted or broiled or whatever they call it. They'll lose that much money on each chicken just to get people in the door. And to be honest, I know most people don't eat this. The best value on a chicken is eating the chicken liver, because you can buy a big tub, of chicken livers for probably a couple bucks. A chicken liver is, if I recall correctly, 25% of the weight of an actual chicken. Just the liver. Got the liver, the gizzard, and then you have the chicken. And it could be the liver, the chicken, or the gizzard. I'm not sure about the last two in which order. Jay, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you being in here this long. This is probably one of the longest streams I've ever had. Everybody be sure to check out Jay Thompson. You like wildlife, you like cards, you like comics, check him out. He does videos and participates in streams all the time. You can check him out on Sports Cards and Things, Red Rum, Brandon Jensen. Check out Jay Thompson. We're having a great chat about, started out as WNBA cards, and we're talking about politics. We're talking about food prices across the USA, even in Hawaii. We're covering it all tonight. So what's gas like out there right now, things? It's $3.20 here in Nebraska. $5. Oh my God. That is absurd. Not what you're saying, but the fact that it's $5 a gallon there. There's no reason. They say Strait of Hormuz. Dollar more, I get that. I do. Once again, going back to shipping. But the United States handles criminal prosecutions of people that are here illegally so incorrectly. Otherwise, there would not be that problem. All right. You've got all the labor force that you want in prisons. They try to say refinery space. Okay, let's create a refinery. Let's create a couple refineries to compensate. And for the amount of illegals that are in our judicial system, I'm going to pick a country, and I'll use that as an example. We'll say Mexico, because that seems to be what is the most here. Charge that country a barrel of oil per day per illegal. That's about the equivalent of what it costs to house them. That pretty much solves the problem right there. And since we have the free labor of creating these refineries, those refineries wouldn't have to be, of course, there's going to be some cost with the designing and all that. I get that. But you've got a free labor force. Okay, you're in prison. You want to get out there? You want to get in this, work your way back into society? You want to learn a trade? Well, here you go. Learn to weld. Learn to work a computer. Learn to do this. Learn to do that. There's so much opportunity. And since the criminal system is supposed to be about rehabilitating people and giving them an opportunity at a better life when they get out, well, let's not lock them in a cage. Let's put them to use to their benefit and our country's benefit. Yeah. Oh, Jay's right. There is no labor shortage. There's an unwillingness by American corporations to pay Americans. You're absolutely correct. But since that exists, we have a labor force costing us $75 to $100 a day that's just locked up in a cage. If I was in jail or if I was in prison, okay, let me get out for 8 hours a day. I'll work on that. This prison system, it's not rehabilitating anybody. It's just locking them up. It's not giving somebody a future. It's not teaching them a trade. See where I'm going with this? It's not, none of it is to the betterment of society. Now, somebody going in for being drunk on the weekend for a couple days, no, that's not going to include them. But, you get these criminals in here. You get people going to prison because they have nothing else to live for. At least there they get a meal and a bed, a shelter. Give them something they can learn. Give them a reason not to commit the crime. Because at least in a sane, rational mind, which not all criminals fit that bill, but in a sane, rational mind, if you have nothing else you're going to rob whatever, commit whatever crime, violent crime, drug crime, whatever, because that's all you have, and you're given this opportunity, here you go. This is your chance at salvation. They're going to take that salvation. And then, okay, we'll knock it off your sentence. You go out there, you bust your ass, you show that you're this, you want to do this, do it. Well, I'll tell you right now, Nebraska is a state of probably 2-3 million people, and I think they have 5 prisons. That's fucking bullshit. Hi, Huggle. Hey, Huggle. I lay down, son. No. Every prison should be profit. But it should be for the betterment of the person and the betterment of society. So they should profit in that way. Because what I make a day right now is not equivalent to what a prisoner costs every single day. No shareholders. No shareholders. But they can be used by companies as long as they teach them a trade. There is only profit there for the prisoner and the company. And that is the betterment of society. Don't force anybody to do anything. It's the people that are in there that want to. Damn right. And people should not be in prison for nonviolent crime. There are other ways to damage somebody. Don't allow them to leave their house. Don't allow them to enjoy the things that free people enjoy. And certainly don't allow them to, in certain instances, enjoy the things that put them in there. But say you, for example, and I know this is for a pretty facetious example. Okay, sports cards and things like sports cards, but now sports cards are illegal, so he's got to spend a year in prison. Well, okay, make me. I'll go to work. I'll go to work on this. Whatever. Teach me how to learn how to become a computer science technologist, whatever. You're going to profit off that. That company is going to profit off that at the same time. And the entire United States is going to profit off that. Should they make money off of you? No. Should you make money off of them? No. But once you get out, if you're tops at your field, okay, you're going to work for me now. That's where I'm going with it. Well, that's two different things. Corporation is stealing money from people. Then the people that are involved with the stealing of the money, they should not be able to enjoy certain freedoms. And should have to they should be forced to pay reparations, for lack of a better term. And see, that's where because locking them up, I mean, in all reality, okay, you go to jail for 5 years for $1 million. You're going to go to jail for 5 years for $1 million. Who gives a shit, you know? But no, there are other ways to penalize that person. You stay in your house. You don't do you're unable to do this. You're unable to do that. If you're not in for I don't think a person should go in for a violent crime. I think restrictions should be put on a person. And mind you, I'm not a rich guy. I basically what I make goes into cards. Cards in my house. That's it. I'm dirt poor. I can't even afford to buy groceries half the time. But no, you get these people that do this stuff like that. Take that money, make them poor. That's one of the worst punishments you can have. Be poor and be able to do nothing. survive on minimum wage. Let them try to survive on minimum wage. They wouldn't be able to do it. The best thing for the people like that, let them live in squalor and live off $10 an hour. It is. We do need that to for international business. Yes, we do need that because they're experienced in it. Should they have absolute power? No. Should the poor have absolute power? No. Because that would ruin a country. It really would. It could be better on a local scale. Because, okay, well, this person grew up like shit. They know what the neighbor's going through. Yes, it would benefit there. Would it benefit with high dollar trading? Would it benefit international shipping? No. There needs to be a balance of both. There doesn't need to be a balance of equity. It needs to be a balance of intelligence. Were I in charge, I would have fucking homeless Joe over there and a billionaire schmo over there, and both of them are going to have the same weight in what they say. No, I believe the only way that those changes would come around would be people with enough common sense and, unfortunately, military backing or armed backing to make that happen. That is the only way that would exist, is through force. Because right now, people vote on the hairdo or they vote on the chick's fake tits. That's what politics is right now. Because that's what news is. That's what Hollywood is. That's what everything is. Tits and money. And that, my friend, started in the 90s. And two, these people, all of these people in charge are our public servants. That'll never happen because they're not pretty enough for TV, or they're going to always find something. It really would take a violent. How do I want to? Well, I'm just going to say it would take an. It would take, and unfortunately, it would not be peaceful. For that to happen. And that's because society has become so stupid that the only way that people will listen is who has the bigger gun, who has the bigger arm, who has the bigger hammer. You know what I'm saying? You are right. They vote for the D or they vote for the R. And I'm an R. I'm a big time capital R. But that don't mean that I don't understand all of it. Because I've been in all of it. Right now, I'm struggling to buy this. Not even $5. $1.90. $3 and some cents. This pleasure is $10. This is every bit of this is pleasure. Every bit of this. I'm fucking unemployed. It's $50 the other day to run this phone. This phone right here. I had to spend $10 battery or $9. Oh, excuse me. Damn it, I got to burp. $9 either way on just a cord to keep this phone going. Now that one I will disagree with on that because there's too much into liberal ideology that is very distasteful to me. Very distasteful. And way too many Democrats identify now, not you, not the random person on the street, but too many people in power identify with socialism. And socialism is nothing but a way to consolidate wealth criminally. Yes. Any word where you see social, like you say social justice, the fucking door. All that is fifth column wannabe communist ideology. And that actually goes back to the 90s. Because you always heard, I don't know, how old are you for the first part things? I'm assuming around 40. If so, do you remember hearing about, oh, God, I don't want to give this, damn it. Another term for woke, I can't think of what it is. It's social something. Okay. So you're old enough. There was a term that Clinton always used. Oh, damn it. I'm drawing a blank. Social. I'm just not going to think of it right now because I just drawn a complete blank. I want to say social intelligence, but I know that's not the right word. But there was a term that he used, and it was actually a term that was coined by Stalin. And if you do enough research, and just do the research, you'll find it out. Him and his wife Hillary were big backers of the communists. Not affirmative action. It's on those lines. Not social education. I'll think of it. But they even did their college theses on it. Oh, affirmative action. That was around even before them. It's stupid. And now another term for it is DEI. I'm sorry, but we'll use air traffic controllers because that's the main thing that they're talking about DEI. Just because you're black, just because you're whatever, does not qualify you to have that position. Fucking Michelle Obama got a full ride Harvard scholarship because she was black. Not saying she wasn't deserving. I don't know that. But you don't pass somebody up because of the color of their skin. I don't care what color it is, white, black, whatever. You've got trailer park here in Georgia that can't even count to fucking one. And you've got primo college student in Hawaii, but you give the scholarship to can't even count to one in Georgia. That ain't right. That's just an example. It can be white, it can be black, it can be whatever fucking color. Who gives a shit? You're a human fucking being. You should all be graded on your merit and your worth. And if you can't count to one, you certainly can't fucking tell an airplane how to fly. At least that's my common sense opinion of it. Or Johnny Rainbow shouldn't get a job because he's Johnny Rainbow over Dolly Dirt Farmer over here, you know? Exactly. Common sense. Outdoor, just like the penny. The most common sense there was. It's not here anymore because it fits a certain agenda. And the Democrat Party is known for appealing to the lowest common denominator because, and I'm just going to fucking flat out say it. Democratic Party was a party of slavery up until the 60s. Okay. They found out, we can get these voters if we flip-flop on everything we've said. So we can get more voters to keep us in. Now they want to cater to all the illegal immigrants or all, okay, let's do that. We'll get more people voting because we gave them the rights. They shouldn't have the fucking rights in the first place. We're the only major country in the entire world that doesn't even allow identification to vote. Don't prove you're a citizen, just vote. Because the lowest common denominator is always going to vote themselves a raise every time. That's all it is. It really is. And that's not an insult to what you believe or whoever believes or however they believe. It's just a fact and a tactic that the Democratic Party uses to try to keep themselves in power. If you look at the state of California, they've had no Republican. I don't recall the numbers. No Republican Congress, no Republican Senate, no Republican this, but they've had a 48% increase, I believe, in government employees, which not all that long ago, the Democrats were against more government, but now they're all about all more government. Taxes are, I believe, 24% higher. Well, we need these so we can pay for more government. And the more government is the more Democrat. It's all fucking criminal scam in the name of law. And I'm not telling anybody to vote either way. Vote how you want. But you got to look at the money because the money is what talks. And in fact, you can find exactly what I'm talking about that will give you the numbers on NTAT channel. I'll even find the post and I'll post it after the stream. And you can look it up if you so choose. Oh, absolutely. I think the United States would be better off without the state of California. Give it back to the Mexicans. I would love to split the United States up into certain regions. I would take North Dakota straight south to Texas. That would be one whole region. Because there's no reason that California needs to dictate to me. And I would completely redo the Electoral College. They are. We had that at one time, probably about 16, 20 years ago. Ron Paul, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He had a march that was about 1 million people. You always hear about the Million Man March. Well, there was another one, and it was all military. And military people were told, oh, well, do not wear your uniform because we don't want to be associated with a party, blah, blah, blah. I watched it live. There's all kinds of people walking down the street of Washington, D.C. News wouldn't cover it. CNN wouldn't cover it. CNN is bullshit. CNN is just ratings. More ratings, more ad revenue. Fox wouldn't cover it because, whoa, fuck. Oh, we can't do that because they're not a Republican. Yeah, we do. We need an American party. An American party. And tonight, through our little chat, might not mean shit, but it might mean shit 10 years down the road when somebody looks up what the hell's YouTube and comes across this live stream and says, oh, holy shit, these two guys, Texas hockey cards, sports cards and things, they said some shit tonight. It made sense. Who knows? It could be something simple as that. And they might have the money, and they might have the backing, and they might, you know what? These guys are right. They're Americans. They have to deal with the shit. They don't have a voice. And it could amount to absolutely nothing. But we both know we're right. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that the only way that stuff like this gets talked about at this day and age is under the threat of World War III, and there's nothing else left to do because somebody don't have more cards to show right now. But it might come out okay. It could come out okay tomorrow. You never know. And on that note, I want to urge everyone, check out Dawn. She was in here earlier. Adam's Card Closet, Barry, Jay Thompson, and Sports Cards and Things. He's live every Friday. And you can check the other ones out in those live. I want to thank everyone for stopping in, everyone for the comments, and you all have a good night. Thanks for watching.